Hey, Paul.
How are you, Stacy?
I'm doing okay. Hope that we got a lot of people signed up. I just hope everybody shows up. We'll see.
Well, I'm ready.
That's good. This is easy. This is just information and a chance to ask questions. We'll start the real stuff next week.
Okay, good. Because I'm in Vegas for a few days and I forgot my books.
It's okay.
So I
We'll,
was
we'll, we'll
hoping
get you, we'll get you inside of those soon.
yeah.
Hey, Steve.
Good evening.
How the heck are you?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm good. I figured out how to do this poll thing on the Zoom. So I don't know if you want to use that instead of Kahoot, but we can talk about that. Or we can just use Kahoot. It doesn't matter for your stuff.
Okay.
We can play with that in the next few days and then you can decide. I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Great.
Who else is here? Ryan. Okay. Well, we got quite a few people on our list. I can't even tell you. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6,
Still have 5 minutes.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3. We got 40 people on the list.
Wow.
And I've given out books to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. But Mike said he would give them out on Saturday, the people who haven't gotten them. So they have 3 locations to choose from instead of just the one I pick.
Hmm.
Hopefully we'll get more of those out. Carson. Cox. Hey, JQ.
Hello, hello.
I'm gonna look at your talk as soon as I get done with this one.
You
So
what?
I'm gonna look at your talk as soon as
Oh,
we get done with this one. So
okay.
thank you for getting that in so quickly.
You're welcome. I just have to add a couple things, but I just wanted to make sure it was the direction you were looking for.
Yep. Well, I will let you know soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just telling Steve that we got 40 people signed up for this thing, for this class.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Steve. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. How you doing?
You know, hanging in there like the rest of us, huh?
Slogging it along. One day at a time.
One day at a time.
Yeah, these numbers are just getting out of control. I try not to think about them. It's too depressing.
My customer, or not my customer, but my boss actually just told me the Ivy League schools just canceled all their winter sports. First D1 conference to do that.
Well, of course, it's the smartest one, right?
Yeah,
You know
right.
it.
They haven't figured it out early. That's all.
Well, they were the first ones to cancel for March Madness, if you remember that. They were the first to cancel their tournament.
Yep.
And the first to postpone their football. So they are smart.
This
Not
isn't
driven by sports.
Exactly.
Okay.
Noah Dickerson. Is he one of the
He is.
cool?
Has he signed on yet?
No, I'm going through the
Oh, the website.
the website.
Do you know the website, JQ?
Yeah, that's how I found the Zoom details.
Got it. Okay.
But I will look at the apprentices. I haven't looked yet.
Yeah, when I met up with Noah at EW to get him his books, he was even more ginormous than he looks on TV. He's a big dude.
Less likely to get yelled at.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll let you know. And Steve will like this. CYO. I reffed his first game ever with Miles Gaskin. And let's just say, good thing he stuck with football because I don't think his career was in reffing.
Seriously, you worked with Gaskin?
Yeah, his first ever at shoot. What's the school with the gator as their mascot, Steve?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
Frick, I
beats
can't
me.
remember. I don't know. I just remember he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a senior," and I was like, "Oh, did you decide where you're going to college?" He's like, "Yeah, UW." It's like, "Oh, are you gonna play a sport there?" And he's like, "Yeah, football." He's like very nonchalant about it, and I was like, "Okay, well, just blow your whistle hard." And it was like,
Mhm.
sweet. I was like, "Oh god."
It wasn't for him, huh?
It wasn't for him, no. But that's all right because I think he's
Come
making a
on,
lot more
we
money
all-
in football than reffing.
We all sounded
Exactly.
that way in our first game.
Mm-hmm.
Smith, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
We get El Presidente. We're gonna have to have a few words from you.
Dang.
Yeah, I sent you a note. I think it's momentous, the number of join us applications we've got. So I wanted
Yeah.
to hopefully get us started off right and encourage everybody who's here to stick with this crazy thing we call officiating.
Yeah, so somebody just signed on. Let me see. I'm trying to keep track of who's all on here. No. Oh, Connie, is that you, Pittman, Connor?
Yeah.
Okay. Once I saw your face, I knew who it was. Cool. I'm glad you guys are all here. We're just gonna give it another couple minutes because people are signing on still.
So Connor, were you doing this last year?
I did it, I think 2 years ago, but I stopped because I had some other stuff I had to deal with right before we got to where we were actually doing the games.
Right. All right. I definitely remember your face and a little bit about you. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm here to try it again.
Excellent.
He's all set. He's almost done with school, which is always a big time sink. So
Welcome back.
Thank you.
all right, let's see. We're moving right along. I'm going to well, everybody's going to say hi anyway, so I'm going to find out who's here regardless. Okay, so welcome everybody. We'll probably have some more people signing in as we go along, but I just wanted to get started. If you have your audio on and you're not talking, can you turn it off, please? There, that's better. Okay. So anyway, welcome to the PMBOA, to this weird virtual officiating training that we're going to try to put together for you guys. I'm Stacy. I'm the person who's been bugging you with emails about getting me headshots and picking up books and all that stuff. Yeah, before we get started, I would like to have our current president say a few words to you guys while she's on the line. I don't know if she's going to stay on the whole time. So Leslie, you want to say hi?
Hello, and no, I have to bebop out because I have another meeting at 7, and I'm gonna try and get a few steps in because I've been sitting in a meeting for the last 2.5 hours, so I've got all kinds of cramps in my tush going on. But I just want to take this opportunity to welcome all the apprentices to this great journey we call basketball officiating. And we are excited to have you on board and excited to see all of the ladies in attendance. So one of the things we were just looking at this past year is that we've had a great decrease in the number of ladies that are officiating. And I just think that I love all the guys that are on here that are doing it, but it's great to have ladies working women's basketball. It's great to see those role models out there. So just want to let you guys know, glad to have each and every one of you. Looking forward to having you. Officiating is great. Not only is it, I call it a great paid workout. I utilize the funds to do home projects every year, and it's a great way to stay involved in the game And probably one of the other very exciting things that comes out of this is the relationships that you make that truly are lifelong. I'm not sure how long. I remember when I first met Stacy, she and I went on a road trip together, and I was totally freaked out because I didn't know her. And by the end of the trip, we were tied at the hip, and yeah, we've been on this journey for a long time. And I see Steve Latimer's on here. We've tried to go by his house, and Jillian Quinn's an up and comer, and she's roped in the circle. So I've made some really, really great friends, and just want you guys to know that everyone who's a part of the Apprentice Trading Committee, people who are on the PMBA board, if you have questions about anything on your journey, there'll be some bumps in the road. I remember my dad had to talk me off the ledge one time, but I encourage you to reach out to each and every one of us, because we've seen a lot over the time, and we really want your time with us to be great, to be long. So please don't hesitate at any time if you have questions, comments, or concerns. We're there for you. And my email address is president@pnba.org. Feel free to use it. And that's it. You guys take
Thanks.
care. Back to you,
Thanks,
Stacy.
Leslie. All right, go back to work on your other call. Okay, so I'm going to start with our, I have a little PowerPoint put together. We'll go through that, and then I'm going to have you guys open it up, see if you have any questions for us, and we'll go from there. And anybody on the committee, if I miss something as I'm speaking, feel free to jump in. Okay, where am I? All right, can everybody see that? We good? Steve, you see it?
You're good.
Okay, so this is here we are, apprentice class in times of COVID. This is going to be interesting. Okay, this is my information. It's on the website, but I just stuck it there anyways. Also, this first address here, this bit.ly/PMBWay Apprentices 2020, that's going to be your home base for everything, for your assignments and the quizzes and information about each other and about us. So just like I said, bookmark it somewhere, and don't lose it. If you do, come back and ask me, and I'll let you know. Our organization website is also a good place for information. This www.pmbaway.org. It might be sometimes easier for you to remember this address than the longer one for the apprentice site, but both of them are places that you can go to for information. Okay, I'm going to go to our, come on. Okay, this is the website, the apprentice website. And most of the important stuff is right on the front page here. So the websites are here. The Zoom session link is here. All the dates and times of the training are here. And there's a calendar here, but it's a little redundant. Everything you need to know is right here. The reason I've been asking you for headshots is because we need to know who you guys are, and we'd like to know who you are as we're training you. And you probably want to know who each other are. So we just have this page here. And if you haven't sent a picture, you get one of these officials calling a technical foul. But in the meantime, so that's where everybody is. If you want to get to see who your fellow classmates are, there's a link here, a tab here for the training staff. There's a link here or a tab here for the class outlines. The one thing I want to point out is that at the end of each class outline is the homework assignment for the next class. Okay, so for instance, if I went to Rules 1, this is going to be your first class. Down at the bottom here, there's a next class preparation. Make sure after every class that we have, you look at that stuff and you try to do as much as you can before the following class, because it'll make the next class much easier. Okay. Under the quizzes, these are things that we're going to assign to you to complete after different rules classes. They're all, multiple choice, true, false. You submit those. I'll be notified that you've done them. It's something that you need to do to complete the training, is get all those things done. So just do them. The more you get into your books to look up the answers instead of just taking a wild guess, the more you're going to benefit from them. Okay. And then there's a couple other tabs over here with other training materials, information on the association, our bylaws, our board policies, how much we get paid per game, all that stuff is under these last couple tabs here. Okay. And then the other website is our pmboa.org website. And it just has, there's only a few things you can see until you're a member. But where'd the calendar go? There we go. So the calendar's here on the left. There's a lot of Zoom sessions and stuff going on right now for training. And even though you're just starting, you can feel free to join any of those just to kind of get a feel for what this whole thing's about. So feel free to take advantage of that resource. All right. Okay, I'm going to take this off share, and I want whoever here is here from the training staff just to say hi. Don't make it a big long thing. How long you've been reffing? What do you like about reffing? So whoever wants to start.
I'll start. So I'm Steve Latimer. I've been reffing. I think this will hopefully be my 13th year. You know, started out relatively old at 50 years old as a referee. And the thing I love about it more than anything is the community collegial aspect about it. It'll be tough for all you guys this year, at least at the beginning, to get that community aspect to it. But over time, many of these referees will be your best friends. So.
Okay, JQ. Thank you, Steve.
Hi, I'm Jillian Quinn. It is my going into my 6th year refereeing. And my favorite part, besides community, since Steve stole my answer, I guess I'm going to have to go with some Friday night lights. I mean, there's nothing like a packed gym on Friday night and the band's there. And I mean, you guys all lived that in high school. It's just it's a really fun atmosphere. And then to be there with your friends on the court makes it even more fun.
And I have to put a little proud plug in for Jillian. She's only been repping for 6 years, you said? And she's doing high school. She's doing community college, Division III, Division II. She's on the brink of getting to do some Division I basketball if we ever play again. So it can happen if you put the time in. Okay, who else? Scott.
Scott Ramage. This is my 12th year. And other than what Jillian and Steve mentioned, I think just being on the court, it feels like you're part of the game, working those games. It's just a lot of fun.
Okay, thanks, Scott. Who else is on here?
Hey, Stacy, I'm here.
Is
This
that
is
Lisa?
Lisa Nielsen. I'm a relative newbie, so I was just going through the Apprentice class this time of year last year in 2019. So, but yeah, it's a thrill, and I would just recommend getting some mentors, people that are going to be in your corner and help you out and help you learn and continue to grow in this profession. It's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it very much the last year and a half I've been doing it.
Thanks. Is there anybody else here I missed? Okay. And I've been doing this for too long, for probably 20 years now. I stopped counting a while ago. And I just I love basketball. I've coached, I've played. This is one way for me to stay involved. That's not quite as all-consuming as coaching. That was my one attempt to get back involved in the game. But you can get pretty involved in this depending on how much you want back from it. I just love the people. I've met people from all different walks of life that I never would have run into otherwise. So anyway, so that's us. There's a few more people on the staff, but they're busy doing other things tonight. So I want each one of you just to say your name, how you heard about us, and why you want to be a ref. And there's a lot of you, so just make it, 30 seconds of prime time. So just somebody start. Paul, how about you?
Paul Reynolds. I actually was talked into trying this by Don Warfield, who also is a basketball referee, but I have been doing baseball and I enjoy being an umpire in baseball. So I thought I'd give basketball a try as well. Because you're right, as an umpire, you feel like part of the game. So I'm hoping that's the same for basketball.
Thanks. How about Zoe?
Hi, I'm Zoe. I learned about this from my mom because she took the class a couple months ago. And I used to play basketball, so I don't anymore. So I thought it'd be fun to ref.
Cool. So you are, I thought you belonged to Trila, is that right?
Yeah, I'm her kid.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
Connor.
Hi, I'm Connor. I heard about this from a basketball referee that came and spoke at like a soccer referee camp I went to a couple years ago. So I went up and asked him how I could get involved because basketball is my favorite sport. And he led me to the website, and then I contacted Stacy, and here I am. And basketball is just my favorite sport. I love watching it. I love being involved, and I also love to help people. So why not do all three at the same time and ref?
And run around and get exercise and get paid. What the heck?
Exactly.
Sammy, Samantha, I don't know what you prefer.
Sammy or Samantha. I heard about this because of my mom also, and I want to be a ref because I play basketball. So I don't know. I guess I just wanted to improve my game, and because my mom.
Thank you. Douglas.
Hey, how's it going? My name's Douglas. I heard about this through Google. I was watching the NBA one day, and I think I disagreed with one of the calls that was made. I got kind of interested in why it went the way it did. I play a lot of basketball, and I thought that this would be a good way for me to stay involved with basketball and not be in the competitive side.
That's awesome. Did you find an answer to your question about the NBA call?
No, actually, I think it was a bad call. I still think it was a bad call.
Oh, come on,
Hopefully
refs don't make bad calls. Come on. Who else is here? Tyree.
Hey, I'm Tyree. I started officiating when I was 16 for Alderwood Boys and Girls Club, and that's how I fell in love with officiating. So when I got to college, University of Idaho, I officiated the intramural program there, and I just loved it. So my head coach from Meadowdale High School, when I played in high school, he posted a link on Facebook, and that's how I heard about you guys. So I was like, oh, something I'd love to do.
Cool. Well, we love to have basketball heads, so thanks. Welcome. Lisa.
Hey, I'm Lisa. I have been playing basketball my whole life. Haven't recently, so trying to get back into it in a different way. My career is in the athletics field, and I'm a recreation coordinator, and I'm supposed to be teaching people how to ref, when ironically myself have never actually been trained. So I am very excited to actually get good official training and spread the knowledge.
Yeah, and then you can bring us some of the refs you train.
Exactly.
Ava, you're a new name. I haven't seen you on my lists.
Hi, I'm also one of Trila's daughters.
Good, she's bringing in the whole pack.
Yeah, my dad's listening to see if he wants to do it too.
Yeah, all you guys should come. Then you have rides and everything. It's cool.
Yeah, I was recommended by my mom, and I'm actually pretty interested in it because I still do play elite basketball. I'm 16 and I play on their 17 UAU team, and I think it's cool to get a different view of the game.
Cool. So you're a stud. That's what you're trying to tell us. Okay, Ryan, you're up.
I'm Ryan. I've actually been officiating for 3 years, and I'm also 16. And I did this program or something like this last year for the tournament in at Riverdale High School, and I was there last year. And so our family friend Mary Roper, who's actually Sammy's mom, sent us this email to join this, and we were told to do this. So yeah, and then this is my sister Kaylin. Yeah, I'm doing it too, but we just didn't want to do it on 2 different computers.
Okay, then why don't you say hi, Kaylin?
Okay, so I'm Kaylin, and this is my first year, and my coach Mary, who's Sammy's mom, gave me the idea to do this.
Okay, you sound like you're really
We
sold on
both
it.
play basketball.
Okay, Ryan,
Yeah.
convince her it's really a good idea, okay?
Yeah. I did
Okay.
community center, but
Okay, well, I think it'll be good. Oren?
Hi, I'm Oren. I'm pretty sure I Googled reffing because I reffed last summer for my AU. And yeah, so I reffed last summer and it was fun. It was a fun time. So I figured I would get training for it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And you look a lot younger than me, so we need you guys, all you young guys, we need you to replace those dinosaurs. Dan?
What are you talking about, dinosaurs?
I'm more of a dinosaur than you, but
I don't know about that, but this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Always loved the game of basketball, coached for several years, really want to stay involved with the game, stay fit. And so I'm about ready to be an empty nester next year. It seemed like it was a good time. I know there's a shortage. I know you guys are desperate for folks who, can put the time into this. And so I'm excited about getting started and seeing if I can help out.
thanks, Dan. Hey, Doug, you want to turn off your mic?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thanks. Drew, you're not Drew. I thought you were Ron.
No, I'm Ron. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I've played and coached basketball for way too long. This is always something I've wanted to do, and really looking forward to it.
Great, welcome. Rowan, is that how you say your name?
Yes. I'm Rowan. My someone that works in my school, Tom O'Connor, he told me about this because I played for a while and then I got a concussion, so I had to stop playing. So he recommended me to do this because I still wanted to stay involved with the game. So yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to give Tom a kudo. Will.
I was muted for a second. Hi guys, I'm Will. I learned about this program from my dad, and the reason I want to do it is just another way to stay involved with basketball in the community, especially during like COVID times. And I'm looking forward to do it just because I'm younger and I can, ref for the rest of my life. It's just always a good thing to have on the side too.
Cool. And once in a while you can ref with your dad. Would that be okay?
That would work too.
All right. Gabriel.
Hi, I'm Gabriel. I heard about it through a gentleman. I can't quite remember his name, but he was just passing through my store one time, and then we talked about it. And I've actually done rules officiating for golf, and I used to coach like youth basketball, and I enjoy rules officiating for golf. So I just kind of want to see how I would enjoy refereeing basketball.
Oh, you're gonna love it. Jenna.
I heard about this from my brother, and I want to do it just because I like the game and it's a way to make money and enjoy what I'm doing.
Is your brother a ref?
No, not anymore.
But he was.
Yeah, a while ago.
Okay. Okay, Elijah.
Hey, how's it going? Just looked it up one day, how to be a ref in Seattle. I've always wanted to be a ref, been around the game my whole life, coached youth basketball and played throughout my life as a child and a teen. So looking forward to it.
Cool, welcome. Okay, Nick, you're up.
Hey, I'm Nick. I used to play, and then I sat next to a referee on an airplane. We were sitting in row 23, and I made some joke about Michael Jordan, and he's like, "Why do you say that?" And found out he was a referee. We started talking about it, and then I looked you guys up. So
Yeah, the weirdest things get us into this world. Thanks. Bradley. You there? Mr. Flotland. Okay, we'll skip over him. How about Paige?
Hi, my name's Paige Ryan. I've never played basketball. I've always wanted to ref. My kids all played. I feel like my life is taken up completely by work and tending to my children. So I just wanted something in my life that I wanted to do. So this is it.
Okay, thanks. Bradley, you there yet? Okay, how about Jordan?
I heard about this through my school. Actually posted about it on Instagram, saying that I'm talking about it, and I just really thought it'd be something I'd enjoy because I've always liked the game of basketball.
Well, I hope you like it too, because we need all you guys. Your last name's Ramenke or something like that. How do you say that?
For Mikey.
Mikey. Thank you. And Jay.
Hey there, I've been working the table for my kids' games in high school, and Scott and Jillian multiple times have said we need more refs. So now that they're done playing, I thought I'd put my hat in the ring and get out there and help out, knowing that there's a little bit of a shortage.
Cool, thank you. Hey Noah, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm Noah. So I just I play basketball. I still play basketball now. I'm actually in between. Like, because of COVID, they're sending dudes back home from overseas, and the NBA G League doesn't start till like March. So like, I'm kind of in between, just sitting here doing nothing, and like, you know, let me learn the rule book a little bit more before I go play again. So like, here I am.
Yeah, so now when you argue with the refs, you can argue in the same language, right?
I already did. You know what I mean? I already did, but now a little bit better.
Okay, cool. Well, we're glad to have you. Okay, is there anybody that's on this call that didn't say something? Okay. Okay, we'll go back. Thanks, you guys. It's a diverse group of reasons why you're joining, and you have a lot of different backgrounds. This should be fun. Okay, just a couple more things here. Come on. Okay, just some quick background. Washington is for interscholastic activities is governed by the WIAA, the Washington Interscholastic Activities Association. They're the big oversight body. And the refereeing portion of this is the Washington Officials Association, the WOA, who is responsible for providing officials for WIA sanctioned events. And our local group is the PNBOA, the Pacific Northwest Basketball Officials Association. So we're part of the WOA. Our group assigns games from youth through middle school, high school, and adult rec. So it's everything, boys, girls, men's, women's, a lot of games. We have theoretically, we have 350 members. I don't know if we have that many active members, but we have a lot. Our association is the biggest in the state, I'm sure. We service schools and rec games in and around King County. Okay, so for membership, we have membership dues every year, but for you guys in your first year, you don't have to pay anything. There's two sources of dues. One is to the PNBOA, to our group, and one is to the WOA. So your PNBOA dues for the first year, you will never pay. It's just a one-off, we want you to get in, and we don't want you to have to pay any more money than you have to. The WOA dues that you would owe for this season, you won't have to pay up front, but after the season is over, you're going to have to pay those. And then since we normally pay our WOA dues before the next year, you'll end up paying twice. So you'll end up paying for this current year and for the next year. But that comes out of your game fees and stuff. It's not like you have to pull it out of your pocket. Okay, we have meeting requirements. They're all listed on on the websites that I showed to you before. And before you do any school games, there's requirements that the WOA puts out there. There's a rules test and a video and a bunch of stuff, concussion training that you have to watch. It's all available on the internet. Okay, so for us, for this revamped apprentice training, we normally do this in person so that we can demonstrate how to do certain things, and then you get to do them. Right now, we're still going to demonstrate to you via video, and we might ask you to mimic back to us what we've done to make sure that you're doing it properly. But the real the real meat and potatoes of getting on a floor and moving around is going to have to wait until after our 8 scheduled Zoom classes. And then we're going to see where we are with COVID. Maybe find some outdoor basketball court where we can run through some of this stuff, but that's all kind of up in the air. For right now, what we have scheduled are 8 classes, 1-hour classes. And we would like you to attend 6 of 8 of them. If you can't do that, they're going to be recorded. And so, you know, just look at the recordings. Let me know that you watched that recording so I know that you got the content, and we'll just go from there. We will eventually, as COVID permits, have some scrimmages where you can show us what you know. The first scrimmage you'll ever do if you've never ref before is an awful experience, but it gets so much better after that just, you know, everybody else has to go through the pain, so you might as well join the crowd. But after that, it's just like your improvement will be exponential. It's really amazing how much you can learn in a couple times on the floor. There's 10 quizzes that are online, like I showed you earlier, and we're going to ask you to fill those out according to the curriculum. Best effort, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of stuff here that we get to after we finish these sessions, but those are the basic requirements. As I've told you, all the training class information is on Zoom. All the classes are on Tuesdays and Thursdays between now and December 15th, except for Thanksgiving. So check out the website for that. So game assignments, again, this is going to, you know, we just have to see where COVID takes us. But when we do start having games again, which we will eventually, all the assignments are made via arbitersports.com, the website. We will teach you how to use that, but you won't be able to get an account until you finish the apprentice training. So I can walk you through what that looks like at some point in the training. But until then, we're not going to worry about that. We have 2 assigners. John Lindsay assigns all the boys' school games, and Leslie Fitzpatrick assigns all the girls' school games plus all the rec ball. So that's youth ball, adult rec leagues. It's a lot of games. And the best thing you can do for these guys, I'm going to ask them to show up at one of these classes so that you can see who they are. But you need to let them know, like if your home address is in Linwood, but you work in Kent, God, I hope not, and you're going to be going to most of your games from Kent, then they need to know that so they can assign you games close to Kent and not somewhere up in Linwood. So as the training goes on and as we actually start having games appear, you probably just want to shoot an email and say, hey, I'm a new official. This is where I work. This is where I live. And it's amazing. They remember all this stuff somehow. So be nice to your assigners and they will be nice to you. We already mentioned all this dues stuff. The one thing I didn't mention was that when you work any kind of rec games, there's an assessment, there's a percentage of the game fee that you don't get because it goes into our operating expenses and to the assigner's pay. Eventually, well, at the beginning, you guys are apprentice ones. That means first year apprentices. Most people will be apprentice ones and then apprentice twos, but if you work enough games in your first year, if you're able to work 20 school games and 60 games overall, which is not that hard to do during normal times, you can skip that apprentice 2 year and go right to the next level, which is called the registered list. Once you're on the registered list, you start getting observations and rankings, and then at the end of every year, the top 7 to 10 people on the registered list get bumped up to the varsity list. So that's kind of how that whole process works. Okay, we have something new this year. It used to be for school games, we were only paid every, I don't know how many months, Steve, like every couple months, every 3 months. And this year, we're going to try to do it a different way so we get paid after every game via arbiter pay. This is brand new, and we're all going to learn at the same time. So I just wanted to put that arbiter pay word into your heads. Rec games are paid monthly, so you'll get paid for all your November games, let's say, in a normal year, maybe at the end of December, and then you get paid for your December games at the beginning of January and so forth. if you get in a bind and you need money more quickly than monthly, there's a process by which you could do that. Okay. And again, all this stuff is in those boring bylaws and board policies that are posted on both the Apprentice website and the PMBOA website. And, you know, one of these days when you're just kind of scrolling through there looking for things to read, you need to fall asleep, read through those things. Really, it's important that over time that you get to learn all this information.
Hey, Leslie, Stacy,
Yeah.
the real key there though, right, from a lot of you guys, especially a lot of you young guys, is you're going to get paid pretty quickly. We used to have to wait a fairly long time for our pay, and now we've got it set up where it's getting paid, you know, for school games immediately, and then for rec games, you know, every month. So you'll have the money coming in quickly.
And Steve, just to add to that, the rec gets paid monthly if it's not cash, right? But there's still cash game opportunities typically.
Yes,
Lots
there
of them.
are.
And those are on site payment. So just FYI on those.
Yep, good point.
Yeah, thanks to both of you. And Steve was actually our treasurer for a while, and he helped get that monthly rec pay thing going. So you can thank him for that. But yeah, this is much better than it used to be. That's been a major complaint, and I'm really happy to see that we're going to be getting paid, especially for the school games, much more promptly. Okay, couple of you guys, everybody wants to know how much you're going to make. There's a whole fee list on both websites again, but just to give you a taste, I put some of the amounts of money down here. And I'll tell you what, if I was 16 or 18 or 21 years old and somebody told me I could get $65 for reffing a basketball game, I'd have been all over it. So that should be a little bit of incentive. Most of the games that you're going to start with are the youth and the youth rec games. But even still, you work 3 or 4 of those in a day, which you'll have the opportunity to do. You can make $100. So,
all right, $25 an hour, basically.
Yeah, it's much better than you're going to make in a lot of places. Uniforms. You've seen people reffing, right? We have black pants that we don't want to wear belts. They sell beltless pants. We have black and white striped shirts. Shoes are the most important purchase of all the uniform and equipment that you're going to buy. You need to get something that you can run in. You probably need to get new shoes every season so that they're supportive enough. Because a lot of people get ankle injuries, foot, knee, and it's because they're running on bad shoes. So if you're going to spend money, spend it on your shoes. I have donations from people who have given me pants and shirts and stuff like that. So just to get you started, if you need something like that, let me know. And then, black socks. You don't want to wear white socks with black pants and look like a dork. And for rec games, you can wear shorts, black shorts with a PMBOA logo. I have those iron-on logos where you can buy the shorts with the logos already pre-printed, I think. Is that right, you guys, Steve? Are we still selling those, or are we just handing out the stickers?
Yeah, I don't think that we have those shorts anymore.
Okay, so we have the iron-ons. Okay, and then when we start actually getting out on the floor in some fashion or another, you will all be given a Fox 40 whistle and a lanyard to hang it on. So you don't have to run out and buy one of those. We'll provide that. Okay, like I mentioned, we're going to have 8 sessions on the Zoom setup, 4 rule sessions, 4 mechanics sessions, mechanics being like the signals and the that you use on the floor and the court positioning, how you move around and so forth. So every other one's going to be, so we'll start with the rules and then we'll have a mechanics and then a rules and a mechanics and so forth. Each presentation will probably take like 45 minutes or so, and then there'll be a chance for some Q&A from you guys. Please feel free to ask questions. I know some of the presenters will say just go ahead and ask as in the middle of their talk. Some might want you to wait till the end, but this is a really good time to answer those questions. And then we're going to have scrimmages whenever COVID lets us.
And one more point in terms of asking questions and stuff. So one of the nice things about Zoom is you can use the chat room. And while the presenter might not be monitoring that chat room during the time, we'll have somebody doing that and they can bring up those questions as well.
Good point, Steve. Thanks. Brad, what's going on? Brad, you raised your hand, it says. Are you muted? Okay, we'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, so thanks, Steve. So your first assignment, next Tuesday's the first official class. It's a rules class. Steve's gonna lead that one. And there's no such thing as a rule 22. This is a typo. He's going to go over rules 4, 1, and 2. We have only 10 rules, even though I shouldn't say only. We have 10 rules, and he's going to go over rule 4, 1, and 2. The reason why he's doing is we're not just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is that there are 3 rules which are really key to your officiating success. Rule 4 covers definitions, and it's really hard to do anything else if you don't know what the definitions are. Rule 9 covers violations, and Rule 10 covers fouls. So we're going to have each one of those big 3 highlighted in each of the first 3 rule sessions. Okay, so that'll be the meat of the presentation, and then there'll be 2 other rules which are important but just not as key to a first-year official as the primary one. So start reading those. For those of you who've picked up your rule books, there's a rule book, a case book, and a mechanics manual. The rule book and case book look pretty much the same, but different color covers. And as you read through a rule, you can read through the parallel case book, which has plays to which the rule that you're just reading applies. So for instance, if you're in Rule 9 and talking about learning about violations, then in the case book under Rule 9, they'll have examples of plays with questions and answers that show you, that kind of apply those rules, because sometimes the rules in the rule book they make no sense. They'll be like blah, 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 until you're used to this referee ease. So it's nice to read the rule book and case book in parallel to kind of get a sense of what the rules are talking about. Okay, we're going to be doing, I don't know how many of you have used Kahoot before, but we're going to be using that for some of our classes. So if you don't have it on your phone, please download it before our next session on Tuesday. That's pretty easy to do. If you have questions, let one of me or one of us on the staff know. All our emails and photos are on the Apprentice website. Okay, for the rest of you who haven't picked up your books, and there's just a good number of you, I sent out an email yesterday and a reminder today about opportunities to pick up books on Saturday at 3 different park and rides at 3 different times. So please take advantage of that. If you did not get the email from me and you don't know what I'm talking about, please let me know and I will give you the information. Our membership chair will be there with the books. He said he's going to be wearing a black and white striped shirt. So if you just drive around the park and ride and see some goof with a black and white striped shirt, that's Mike. Let him know you're an apprentice and he will give you books, and make sure he takes your name down so that I can get that information back to me. Okay. So that's really important. There's the site at Shoreline, I think one in Kent, and I don't remember where the third one is. But they're spaced out geographically, okay? Also, if you haven't submitted a headshot, please do so I can replace the ugly official calling a technical foul with your actual face. And start thinking about, getting some shoes. Again, in this COVID time, it's like we're not going to be reffing tomorrow, so you don't have to run out and get a pair of shoes. But just start thinking about, uniform pieces, a piece at a time, and maybe after we start reffing again, you can have all the stuff you need. Okay. Anybody have any questions for us? No questions?
I have a quick one. Oh, sorry, someone else.
No, go ahead.
I have an Arbiter account as a umpire. Will it be the same account that I'll use, and it'll just be one for umpiring and one for basketball, or will it be a whole new Arbiter account, different login?
I think that's the way it works. I don't do multiple sports. Steve, or what do you guys know? I think it's just going to be, you're going to have another entry there, for another association.
Okay.
But I can verify that for you and get back.
Thank you.
Anybody
My
else?
question was just about, if you know when we'll know if we're gonna like have any games this season. I know that the high school, the WIAA is supposed to say if we're having games, I think on November 17th or something, but I was just wondering if you have any idea if there will be like rec games or community center games or anything.
You know, right now, you know probably about as much as we do. I know the schools were thinking about having basketball season run from January to March. They will get together in later November, and the thought process now is that they might move the season to March through May. But I haven't heard anything about rec ball, anything like that. I think, I think there's some pretty strict rules that the governor has set out. And until we can get our incidents per 100,000 residents much lower than it is right now, I just don't see that happening very soon. So this is going to be kind of it's like I said, it's going to be kind of an experiment because we're going to be training you guys, and then like we're going to have to wait for games. So we're going to try to keep you engaged in other ways. Maybe set you up in smaller pods or with a mentor. Maybe go over plays and stuff, videos, something. We're going to try to set something up so that it's not just going to end when those classes end. Okay, so just hang in there. We're all kind of in the same boat. But that's a good question, Roland. Thanks.
Hey, I can speak to the recreation side a little bit. Just because with Parks and Recreation, a lot of places are currently, because of all the restrictions, unable to run an actual season. There's going to be a lot of modified ways of doing it, but it doesn't really look like officiating is going to be needed at the moment. I think it's going to be a lot of like coaches within like small pods of like 10 players playing against each other. So that's just as of right now until we can get to a moderate level at least.
Okay, well, hey, since you're our contact here into the whole rec program world, let us know, okay, if you hear anything. Perfect. Anybody else? So somebody, I've seen a couple things on the chat saying, yeah, you're going to keep, Paul, I think you asked that question. You'll have the same arbiter account, and we'll just add our groups. One thing I didn't put out there is that since we have school ball and rec ball, when you actually get your arbiter account, you're going to have two separate groups in there for PNBOA school and PNBOA rec. Okay, so that'll make more sense when you actually get an arbiter account, but it just crossed my mind. Anybody else? Okay, so please let me know if you have any questions. Please take care of getting your books, because it's going to be really impossible to learn if you don't have them. If you have some weird circumstance where you haven't picked up your books and you are working on Saturday, please contact me and I'll see what we can work out. Yeah, and just start reading up on rules 4, 1, and 2, and be ready for Steve's amazing talk on Tuesday. Okay, thanks everybody for signing in. I appreciate it.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So,
Thank you, guys.
yeah, no problem. Steve, you want to stay on for a second? Bye-bye.
You need me?
No, I just wanted to show him something with this quiz thing.
Yeah.
Later.
All right. Later, Gators.
See you, Jill.
Bradley, are you still there? Are you there at all?
He sent a message in the chat room.
I saw that
he was having technology problems, but he said he's been reffing for 12 years. Can't wait to get reffing at a higher level. Knows Lisa Eschert personally and has worked for her department. Sorry for not being techie and old. Don't have to apologize to Stacy and I for being old.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess I'm gonna, where is he on my list? I need to contact him about getting on Zoom, because if he can't get on, then he's not going to be able to.
Yeah, need a little technology help there.
Yeah, so okay, so I'll deal with that.
Chuck Orelli.
How you doing?
You got to unmute, otherwise we can't hear you.
All right, I'm a mute. Just
There
here
you
to
go.
say hi to everyone.
Hey, thanks for joining in. You see all those smiling new faces, right?
I thought you wanted to be an apprentice again. You had such a good time.
Maybe I need to. It's been a while. I forgot everything.
Well,
So
you had such a good time the first time around, right?
just to let every one of our new apprentices know that Stacy was my trainer when I was apprentice. So
And I was your trainer after you were an apprentice.
right.
Right? We did like 4 weeks of CYO together.
That was before that.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
That was the first go round.
That wasn't too long ago. All right.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
My 20 years wasn't too long ago either. Thanks, Chucky.
All right.
Okay, what we got?
So there's this thing, I'm gonna escape out of here. There's this way that you can put in, I want to get out of here too. I'm gonna share.
You want to
this-
share your Zoom screen? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to share this login screen. Let me see, where is it? That's not what I want. Zoom 5 is here. No, that's the post attendee. Let me log into Zoom again as the webmaster.
Aren't you already in?
I am,
Otherwise
but
we'd-
somehow it kicked me out or something. I don't know. So let me.
You can't be, otherwise we wouldn't be on right now.
That's true. Okay, so I'm going to go to my account. I just want to get the meetings up here. Meetings.
On the Apprentice site or on the Zoom site?
No, it's on the Zoom site. Hold on a second. I just want to see if I can see the whole. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to share this with you. Where's my Zoom? Zoom. Okay. So I'm going to share screen and go to here, I think. Can you see that?
Yep.
We're inside of Zoom, and we can put in questions. See down here, you have 2 polls for this meeting, and I did this with Leslie the other day. So you type in some questions, okay,
Yep.
and then during the meeting, I'm going to stop this share real quick. Can I do this? Oh, my sister, I apologize. Okay, she's gone. If I go back to, I want to, okay, I'm going to stop that share. And I'm going to share. One moment, please. There's an option down at the bottom that you can't see. How do I share? I can't. You're just not going to see it because it's not a control for you. But at the bottom where, it share screen and chat and all that stuff is, if you're the webmaster, there's another thing called polls. And so if you click in there, you can choose one of your questions that you've pre-canned and then launch polling, and you should see.
Yeah, I see it. Yep.
And then everybody answers their question, and then when you decide it's done, then you end polling, and you can get you can share the results. So
and
it's
that's better than Cahoots, only because we don't have to deal with them getting out their app and all that sort of crap.
Yeah. So if you, I'll just have you, when you're running this, I'll give you the webmaster password. Like, I don't think you're not going to share it with anybody. I don't, and
oh yeah, I definitely will.
Yeah, exactly. And you can load in those questions. Just log into zoom.com and go to the Apprentice meetings and go down to the bottom. And there's the questions that are in there right now are just bullshit junk.
Yeah. So it's probably better than doing Cahoots, because if nothing else, we don't have to mess around with people getting their app out and getting logged in. It just wastes too much time. I agree with that.
So yeah, just whatever questions you were going to put in, you can put them there.
Okay.
And then since you'll be the webmaster for the talk, you'll have that polls thing. If you want to get online with me sometime before Tuesday and just check it out, make sure it all works, that's cool.
Yeah, Scott and I have done that a couple of times with my presentation. It's been actually kind of interesting. My clips, so I loaded all my clips into the PowerPoint directly and saved it in the PowerPoint, and I tested it, worked fine, no problem. And then I, saved the file, and then I actually shipped it off to you as well. And when I went to open it up the next time, it wouldn't play the clip. And then I messed around with it, and I saved it, and it would play the clip again. And then I would save it, and then I'd open up the next day, and it wouldn't play the clip again. I'm like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing wrong. So I finally just gave up, and I'm like, so now I have a link that goes to my VLC, and it's just going to play out in 2 different windows, which are fine. I can switch them, and I got that all figured out. But I'm like, what the heck? You know,
There's something with PowerPoint, you know, because, and I don't know if it's, but maybe it's my machine, but I've never had a problem using PowerPoint on my laptop physically. Okay. And for my 2-person talk that I gave, I had an old talk that I wanted to modify and stuff. So I was trying to like cut out things and insert new things, you know, JPEGs and stuff, and it wouldn't let me. So I ended up having to do all my editing in Google Drive.
In Google Docs, in the sheets, or not sheets, whatever the heck the presentation thing is called.
Yeah. So I had to do it all there because I couldn't do it in my own freaking space. So
I don't know. I jury rigged it so it'll be fine, but I'm just like, what the heck? And the Chuck, because he's just laughing at us because he's the technology guru. But
no, trust me, I've used this stuff 1,000 times, but for some reason, PowerPoint's being a jackass.
Yeah, and then I actually just switched my laptop this week. I've had a MacBook Air, and I just realized that my old one I bought in 2013, and I'm like, I need to buy a new one because this thing is going to crash on me like in 5 minutes. So yeah. I was like, you know, once every 7 years, $1,000 is like, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
And then, and then I got it, and I had to like mess around with getting, you know, the new PowerPoint up and running, and Zoom where I could share my screen and all. I think I finally got it. I'm actually tempted to have both of them with me next week to make sure that they
just in
work.
case. Yeah, I did the same thing. I have this laptop I've been using. It's a Lenovo. It's a great machine. It's been great, but I probably bought it about the same time you bought yours. Yeah. It was before, I bought it before my mom died, and she died in 2014. So.
Right about that, right? Yeah.
And it's finally like the wireless card is kind of, and it's just been, so I just got a new machine, a different one that I need to set up and, you know.
Yeah, I literally got mine yesterday and set it up, and I was just like, yeah, before this thing crashes and burns, and I hadn't had any problems with it, but I'm like, 7 years, I've gotten my useful life out of it. It's
I mean,
time
I've been
to get
backing
it.
up. I back up everything. I have a couple drives, and so I bet it's all backed up twice. I could throw this in the ocean. I wouldn't lose anything.
Me too. Me too. But if you needed to use it for something, you know, I would like it to have it be there. Hey, one thing, it doesn't matter now because you've already done the presentation, but my understanding is that the WOA dues are coming out of our first paycheck. I've actually been bugging Doug about it a little bit, and I got this from reading the board minutes. That I think Lindsay mentioned at the board minutes.
You know, I think you're right, because they were talking about how we have to do the dues differently because of arbiter pay or.
Right, and what that means is that our officials who paid the dues back in April
have to get reimbursed.
Need to get reimbursed, and I've been actually pushing Doug to kind of go make that happen, because everybody would like the $95 right now, right? You know, it's not like. It would be a welcome little pre-Christmas treat. But anyway, so the next time you do that apprentice presentation, it's like you're not going to pay twice at the end of April. You're actually probably somehow we're going to have to figure out a way for them not to get it deducted from their first paycheck.
Yeah, because they won't have a whole lot there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I've been speaking of. I'm going to ask you to keep your ex-treasurer hat on. Have you seen the spreadsheet with the amount of money we're going to be paid per game, depending on the level of contest? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. So they have, like, you know, if you submit your game report within 24 hours, you get this amount, and if you don't, then you get this amount.
Right.
Well, so I was going through that list today because I realized we need to update our list on the website. So I was going to do that. But as I was going through these numbers, it seemed like we're going to get a pay cut.
That's what Scott said too. But I looked at that when it first came out, whenever that was, 2-3 months ago, and I thought it was okay. And now I think I only looked at the varsity list, but I think it came out. I think it was a modest. It might have been a modest pay cut, like less than $1 kind of thing.
Okay, so I must be interpreting something wrong, because you know this fee schedule we have up on the website?
Yeah.
Okay, so it said for a varsity 3-person game last year, the fee was $58.
Right.
Does that include the money that, like, does part of that go for the assessment, or is
Yeah,
that?
right, that's gross before the assessment's taken out.
Okay, and what was, since you were in the middle of all this?
19 and a quarter, 18 and a quarter, whatever it was. No, 17 and a quarter.
17 and a quarter. Okay. So it was 82.75% of 58 plus the travel.
Right.
Okay, so that might make the numbers better, because I was just taking that, adding the $19, and then looking at the number on this new sheet, and it's like, oh, fuck, that's a $12 pay cut.
No. Yeah, if it was anything, it was like less than $1, and I think that was somehow in terms of splitting the cost. Because what does Arbiter take? Like $4 a game or $5 a? I forget the details now, but
no, that's good. That this will at least help me wrap my head around what's actually happening here.
Yeah, I think it came out to be okay. I mean,
Okay.
nothing great, but it didn't come out to where you were losing money, and then at least you got paid, regularly. The argument that you could make is if the schools were willing to pay that much more, and because they're basically paying the more gross amount, and we didn't use Arbiter pay, more of that money would go to us as opposed to the fee going to Arbiter. But you got to pay for all those services. Like I've been using QuickBooks recently. I finally took over my daughter's bookkeeping for her, because she had a bookkeeper who was just god awful.
And I'm like, great dad. Okay.
I'm like, hell, I got nothing else to do in my life, so whatever. And I've been accumulating some of the fees that she has to pay in order to run her business, like Square, which is essentially a credit card company.
Yeah.
They take out their fee for their point of sale stuff, but you gotta use them, and you gotta use Square. In fact, one of these days I got to look up about what their stock is like, because
I know, because everybody uses it.
Everybody uses Square, right? And QuickBooks, you pay a fee to QuickBooks. Both you pay a yearly fee, and then you pay a transaction fee when people like pay their bill through QuickBooks. And then we just used this thing called auto entry, where she can take all her invoices and scan them in, and auto entry charges her to kind of go do that, and it kind of scans through and puts them into her QuickBooks, and it's kind of like the cost of doing business. And Arbiter is kind of the same thing. It's just like, oh well,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
For the benefit, I think for the benefit that the members make by getting paid like every time they ref,
it's worth it.
I don't think any of them would really bitch about it.
Right, that's what I think too. For the $1 or $2, I think it's less than $1 that it's costing them. Again, and none of them will think about, well, the schools are paying this much more, like $5 more than they were.
No, only people like you and me think about that stuff.
We could have kept that ourselves, but yeah, no, I think the getting paid, that was like the chief gripe. I think it's, and Todd would look at me, like go to these district meetings, and I would like yapping at him about getting paid faster. Oh, I don't know that we could, and then suddenly it shows up, and I'm like, cool, I don't know how it happened, but I'm good with it.
Yeah, I know Joanna's been, that was one of her big bitches when she was still out here. She's like, in Wisconsin, we just get paid every time we ref. Like, it was beyond her comprehension. So okay, well, this will help me as I do my comparisons. I'm still going to have to get some numbers from the WIAA or the WOA, because like we have things on our game fee schedule, like a 2-person varsity game. They don't have that listed, or and there were different fees.
That's going to happen at the NCAA level, the Division I, but I just don't know if it's going to happen at, like, did you see them putting out the recommendations for 2-person mechanics?
Yes.
I've told you the story that my very first college game, Daryl Derringer, is that his name? Yeah, Derringer, right? He got hurt in the first quarter, and my partner and my partner was, I'm blanking on her name. God, I don't think she's reffing with us anymore. Anyway, yeah, we were and she hadn't done 2-person in forever, and I had just finished doing apprentice training for somebody, right? And I'm like, I'm leading, you're following. This is great. I'm completely calm now.
Yeah, it's funny how you remember. I remember my first community college game was at Shoreline, and I worked with Jeff Shelton and Grandma Gary Boyle. And I like they, Jeff, he's laughing, he's doing this, and I kept thinking, oh my God, he's laughing at me. I must be so bad. He's and I finally asked him, he was like, why do you think you're so important that I'm laughing at you? He's like, this is just fun. Compared
Actually,
to my job, this is just fun.
My very first college game, which was a scrimmage, was with Leslie and Julie Mitchell.
Oh gosh, okay.
You couldn't have people delivering messages more differently than those two. One of them was like cuddling me, and the other one was slapping me across the face.
That's pretty much the way that Mitchell rolls. So I kept trying to tell her over the years that she just lost her message in the delivery so many times. It was kind of the same with Joe. I mean, Thompson had a wealth of information.
Absolutely.
But if he was in the wrong frame of mind or whatever caused his mood swings, people just couldn't learn, and he was telling them good stuff.
Yeah, and it depends on who you're delivering the message to. With me, I'm as direct as Julie is, so it was like, bring it on. I'm perfectly okay with it, but obviously a lot of people would react to it differently.
Yeah, I always thought that she wouldn't be a very good school teacher, because school teachers need to modify their message according to the recipient.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody does, but especially school teachers.
Yeah.
Well, she would have
Yeah.
probably failed miserably in that regard.
All right, good job tonight. We'll try to carry on the standards on Tuesday.
Yeah. And if you want to do a quick practice or some, I'll send you in fact, I'll just tell you. So the login to Zoom is webmaster at
Hang on. Webmaster at pmboa.org.
And the password is the @ symbol, which replaces the A for Academy. So it's @CADME. Did I spell that right? And a capital
No.
Y at the end. So it's Academy, and the first letter is an @ sign instead of the A.
It's Academy though, not Academy. You just see
Yeah, okay.
CADM.
It's actual Academy with all the right letters. Everything's small, lowercase, except the first one's not really an A, it's an ampersand, I guess.
Yep.
And the last one is a capital Y.
Capital Y. Gotcha.
And then 2020. So it's Academy 2020.
Gotcha.
So feel free to stick those questions in, and then once they're in there, if you want to do a real quick, let's make sure this
Well, but
works.
the only way you can't save that though. You can't do that in advance, right? You got to do it as you're logged in for.
No, I had those.
Is that right?
I entered those questions when I was on a call, a test call with Leslie, and they're still there.
Oh, okay, great.
And I think there's a thing there. I think there's a thing there to add a question. So see if that works for you. And if it doesn't, and you and I need to be on a fake little call while you put them in, I don't care.
Okay, I'll play around with it tomorrow. Good.
Okay.
All right, good talking to you.
Thanks, Steve. Have a good one.